on to your bobsleds. We're just hours away from the opening ceremonies of the 22nd Winter Olympics in Sochi. Hi, I'm Jim Geltrid at MarketWatch, and despite all the hype and the glare of 1,000 cameras, there are plenty of little secrets about the Winter Games that are never going to be on the official program. My colleague, Charles Passy, has taken a look at some of the off-topic competition and controversy that'll likely play out in Sochi over the next 3 weeks. And he came up with a list of things the organizers simply aren't going to tell you. Here are 5. Number 1. This may not be a banner year for the Olympics. And what do we mean by that? Well, choosing the Black Sea resort of Sochi was seen as a great opportunity for Russia, especially President Vladimir Putin, to showcase the country. But the run-up to the Games has seen one controversy after another, leading critics to question whether these Olympic Games can measure up to the expectations and the high-minded standards they're supposed to represent. Russia recently passed tough new anti-gay legislation, which didn't exactly win a lot of hugs from the world's equal rights advocates. And there's been plenty of speculation terrorists might drop by from nearby Chechnya, which seems a valid point after bombs in nearby Volgograd left 30 people dead. And then there's the cost. The final tab for these Olympics is expected to top $50 billion. That's about $10 billion more than the much larger Summer Games in Beijing back in 2008. The main problem with this is that most of the money comes from public funds, which means someone is going to get stuck with a really big bill. Number 2. The Olympics and scandal go hand in hand. Unless you're tuning into the Olympics for the very first time, this should come as no surprise. The Games have been marred over the years by deadly attacks, such as in Munich in 1972, political boycotts, such as when the Soviet Union and the United States decided to boycott each other's Summer Games, and all sorts of dark intrigues among the competitors. Who can forget the Tonya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan figure skating scandal in Lillehammer? Olympic experts blame all this bad behavior on the Olympics themselves. That's because they provide such a huge world stage for anyone wanting to make a statement, and because the stakes are so incredibly high for the competitors. Number 3. The cost is going to hurt you. For starters, a round-trip ticket to Sochi from the US costs between $5,000 and $7,000. Once you get there, you're probably not going to find any hotel bargains. The going rate is a few $1,000s a night. Number 4. Another untold tale. Competitors should be prepared to fork over a lifetime's worth of savings. If you think attending the Olympics is expensive as a spectator, think what it costs competitors to get there. Most experts estimate the cost at 6 figures, with no guarantee that you're going to bring home a medal. And that's after years, perhaps decades, of intense training. U.S. athletes face the additional challenge of having no direct federal support, unlike their competitors in many other countries. On the other hand, sports stipends from the nonprofit U.S. Olympic Committee can provide financial support that in some cases amounts to several $1,000s a month. Finally, number 5, competing can be deadly. While the Games are almost always inspiring, they can also be tragic. The 2010 Winter Games in Vancouver saw the last fatality when a Georgian luge competitor died during a practice run. But there have been others. Another luge competitor died at the Innsbruck Olympics in 1964, and 2 skiers have been killed, one at Innsbruck and the other at the 1992 Games in Albertville. Shocking? Maybe not. The high speeds of winter sports, the quest for world records, and of course Olympic gold medals means the athletes are going to be pushing themselves as hard and fast as they can, sometimes a little too hard. Olympic officials say they now keep this in mind when designing courses, but world-class competition is always going to be about pushing your limits to the edge.